All right. Well, hello there, everyone. Hopefully, this finds you doing outstanding. And once again, I have a very special guest with me today, and I'm gonna learn as much about him today as you will by listening. So I'd like to introduce Antoine Campbell. Antoine, go ahead and tell the audience hi if you would.
Hey, no, thank you, Mark, so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate it. I'm doing wonderful. It's about 65 degrees here in Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm doing fine.
That sounds good. And I'm down here, as the folks who watch my channel know, I'm down here in South Florida. And last I checked, it was about 77 degrees here this morning.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Right. Well, as I said, I grew up in Maryland, so I know what the weather's like up there. So, well, Antoine, I know you have multiple different businesses, but before we get started in exactly what you're doing, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of where you came from, and then lead it up to, what you're doing today.
Sure. So my name is Antoine Campbell. I'm originally from Washington, D.C. I'm the oldest of four. Was born and raised in D.C., graduated in Oxon Hill, and in PG County, Maryland. So that's literally about 10 minutes from D.C. When I graduated, I supposed to went to become a real estate investor / real estate agent. At the time, I graduated 2007. The market was kind of crashing. My father, he's an entrepreneur, but he went through some hard times. We ended up losing a house. So I found a couple of jobs. I worked at a pizza place in McDonald's where I was trying to find my transition. And then a friend of mine named Jeremy had called me one day and told me about this opportunity that this big hotel named Gaylord National. I'm not sure if you ever heard of Gaylord. They had one in Florida, I think, right outside of Orlando. So he said, yo, this hotel is brand new. They had everybody on the spot. Just get down there. So me and my girlfriend at the time went down there. I met this guy by the name of Bar. He's from Sierra Leone in Africa. And he asked me, like, what I want to apply for, what I want to do. I said, for what I'm currently doing, man, I wash dishes, And he said, well, you're a lucky man because I'm the dishwasher manager. And so he said, how does 1240 hours sound? In my head, I'm like, wow, this is life-changing. At the time, I was making $8.25 an hour working at McDonald's. So literally to, take my salary up by 40%, I was ecstatic. So long story short, I worked at Gaylord. That's when I met my wife. I got married in 2011. And then I had a son. Me and her had a son together in 2012 on Valentine's Day. He's a Valentine's Day baby. And next thing you know, I told her that, hey, we should take our tax returns and invest in a business. And she said, what? What do you mean? I said, let's take the whole $10,000 and put it into a business. She was so ecstatic about that. She was so against it. And I had to explain to her and break it down. I said, well, honey, listen, I watch my mom, I watch my aunts and uncles. Every year they get their tax return, they get a new couch, a new TV, maybe some new clothes, and they broke by March or April. Let's invest this because we don't know what this job may look like. So we invested the $10,000. It was a struggle. Long story short, I got into a situation where my job let me go. And honestly, that was a blessing because I had that job and I was so comfortable, I didn't put my all into my first business, right? So when I lost the job and then I had nothing but that, 6 months later, that first business took off overnight. We was making 20, 30,000 a month after 6, 7 months. Now I did struggle, for the first 3, 4 months, but once I was able to give it my the biggest attention I can give it, it literally took off.
That sounds pretty good then. And I know from that first business, I guess it's led to other businesses as well, correct?
Correct. So my first business, I ran what we call a tag and title agency. I think they have them down in Florida where you don't have to go to the DMV to pick up the tags. You can go to the satellite office and they have the tags in there. So I ran that. And it was a great business, but I realized really quickly it was for one, it was heavily regulated. The government controlled everything you did. And it felt like a job, right? So I told my wife that I'm not happy, even though we're making great money. And I realized that money isn't like everything. Sometimes your happiness is just important. So long story short, once again, she allowed me to take all the money we had and go into real estate. So then I went into real estate investing / wholesaling. And that went well, you know what I mean? Like we still have our hands inside of real estate, but when COVID hit, we kind of like looked at it and said, you know what, let's put things on pause until we figure out what's going on, because the bids I was getting from my contractors, the material costs, it didn't make sense to continue to run a business like that.
Okay, right. I understand, because COVID impacted society in so many different ways. Supply chain issues, price inflation, and on and on and on. So if you can, since you put that business kind of on pause, what sort of work are you doing now? What sort of businesses are you operating now?
So I always believe in, as an entrepreneur, everyone should have multiple businesses. Like, even if they run in parallel to what you currently got going on, you should have multiple incomes, because if something happens to your main business, that's when things take a turn for the worse. So, at the time, I was building up my outsourcing business. I own a VA agency. I help entrepreneurs get virtual assistants for all types of, components of their business, whether it's lead generation, cold calling, text messaging, general admin, answering phone, booking flights for you, like all the stuff that you need to run your day-to-day operations. That's what my company provided as a service. And then once we did that, I say last year we got into the e-commerce, and because I had all these different VAs and access to VAs, I'm like, I'm going to try to build as many businesses as I can that service-based businesses with the VAs. And we got into the e-com business, and that's been going really well for us. A lot of learning, because there isn't no one teaching like how to run an e-com service that can manage other people's stores. So it's a lot of trial and error. So that's what I've really been focused on for the last 12 months, just scaling these online businesses and just trying to get the cash flow to the point where I'm making just as much money as if I was owning an $80 million rental portfolio.
Okay. Excuse me, that's interesting, because, I'm an investor in various different, ways of investing. And I've thought about other businesses, but like an econ business, I'm really not that familiar with it. And I have no idea how familiar they're with it. So can you kind of tell us a little bit about exactly what an econ business is and how you can grow it?
So there's different variations of ecom. I run an ecom automation service, and basically we partner with people that want to start an Amazon store. And what we do is, our job is to manage the day-to-day. It's similar to like a property management company that will manage an asset that you kind of bought for rental purposes. So basically we get the store, we help you build the store from scratch. We go out and source and find quality winning products that's flies off the shelf. We manage the orders. We send out the orders. Any returns that you may get, obviously it's e-com. People want to return things. We deal with that. Any customer complaints, we take care of the whole entire operation A to Z. And while all you do is collect a check on a monthly basis, the partner coming in is they're our liquidity partner, because Amazon only allows for one store per person. So they come in, they invest, we use their credit card to order the stuff directly from the manufacturers. And most of our partners are staying between an 18 and a 34% return on every dollar they spend. So it's been going really well. Now, the one thing I always tell people, I don't just take anybody on the streets. It's a certain type of person I want to work with. Most of my partners, there's 43 of them so far that works with me. They literally already have an existing business, and they're making so much cash that they just want to invest in something else that they can have another source of income, a bucket of income coming in.
Okay, that sounds good. So if someone, and I'll put this information in the description below when the video is uploaded, but if someone wants to reach out to you, maybe they want you to help them out or to get more information from you, what's the best way to contact you?
They can text me. So we have a dedicated number, 202-335-3322, I believe. Or they can just head over to my website, ceo929.com, and there's something on there that we can help them with. And me and my team, we'll do our best to reach out to them as quickly as possible.
That sounds good. Like I said, I'll put your number and your website in the description below. So anyone who's interested in contacting Antoine, feel free to reach out to him. Okay. So right now we're in 2022. We're not quite halfway through the year. So from here, you've done several different things in your life, multiple different things in your life. Where do you see yourself going as this year plays out, and then looking ahead over the next several years?
Building more service-based business done for you. I believe in the future, everything is going to either be an automation service that you can just participate in or done for you type of service. So just building more service-based businesses, starting up my 929 capital. I've been studying buying and acquiring businesses. So just buying businesses. And I just joined a mastermind with Tim Bratz. I don't know if you know Tim Bratz. He's a big multifamily guy out of Charleston, South Carolina. So taking what I learned in lead generation and being able to generate leads to acquire multifamily. So that's my focus right now, is to build like a lot of online liquidity to start to drop it off into more hard assets for the long term.
So, okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. Yeah, because I can tell just from a little bit of time we've talked, you're an entrepreneur, you like running businesses, you've touched on different aspects of different businesses, including real estate. So, in my favor, for myself personally, I like real estate investing. So as a real estate investor, like a question you would be, do you see yourself like as time goes on, do you want to get back into more real estate, or do you think you'll go in a different direction?
From an investing standpoint, I definitely want to invest in more of operators, like people that do syndication. So taking a lot of the money I'm making now and just, 100,000 here, 50,000 there. Because what I realized is to expand my network, if I invest with the operators and I get invited to the events and meetings and, masterminds, then I'm able to, partner and work with more high quality clients and the other businesses that I'm currently doing. So, and then I'm, buying up lots in Port Charlotte really quietly. Like my goal, like moving forward, starting July, is to try to buy one or two lots a month instead of here and there. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to start to put like duplexes and fourplexes on these lots. Some of these lots are double lots, and this is a really good quality area. So just putting myself in a position where I'm land banking, and then in the next 24 months, start to, build on them lots.
Okay, that's interesting. Because then you start building, you're buying the lots, you plan to start building on them. And with everything you're doing, I can see, as I use the terminology, your wealth, I can see your wealth just exploding. Yeah. And as the years go on, say we talked in 10 years, my guess in 10 years, you're going to be doing something similar, but yet totally different from now, because you just keep growing. So, I mean,
yeah, 10 years from now, I can't really imagine 10 years from now because things are changing, but definitely a big part of my network will be real estate, right? But I don't know what type of real estate. So one of my goals, because I worked in a hotel industry, not a motel, but actually a hotel is very lucrative. And when I worked in a banquets department, we did 74 million in food and beverage in 1 year. So I know for a fact that there's money there. And, now COVID is kind of like almost on the tail end in most people's lives. People are starting to go back to events and people are starting to travel. So I feel like, there's some people out here that I've been watching and talking to that's already invested in hotels, that if they, have opportunities where I can just become a general partner and just to get in to learn the business. My biggest goal is to, a 10-year goal is to own my own hotel and resort. Primarily, right off, the East Coast of Florida, or, Key West somewhere, if I can find me a lot that's cheap enough, everything down there goes for a real high price. So, but if I can have a nice boutique hotel with like 80 rooms, 12,000 square feet, banquets and conference facility, a place where people can have weddings, that would be like my legacy investment. Like I would never sell it.
Okay, that sounds good. Sounds good. I like talking to people that have dreams like this, dreams and aspirations, because knowing what I know about you, like I say on my channel all the time, we have to set goals, we have to make plans. And by doing that, we can't guarantee the future, but more than likely the future will play out in the direction we want it to play out. And that's good for everyone.
I agree.
All right, sounds good. Well, once again, if you could tell the audience in case they missed it, and it will be in the description below, what's the best way to reach out to you if they want to contact you?
They can text our dedicated cell phone, 202-335-3322. Just text me. Hey, I heard you on the podcast, blah, blah, blah. Great, we'll help you in any way we can. Or they can head straight over to my website, and we have it organized where whatever you're looking for, click the link, and it take you to directly what that is. CEO929.com.
All right, that sounds good. All right, sounds good. Well, before we wrap this up, what, if you want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, maybe give some final words, and then we'll kind of wind this down to the end.
Yeah, this is a finance podcast, so I just want to tell everybody that it's never too late to get your finances in order. One of the things I learned over the years is if you got great credit, you can never go broke. If you know how to leverage your credit, there's so many ways and things you can do with your credit that can keep you afloat. Work on your credit. If you don't have great credit, work on your credit. We even have debt service. We can help you with your credit. We'll give you a free credit audit, no strings attached. We'll pull your credit, show you exactly what you should have and what you should do to make a healthy credit file. You can head over to approval, APROOVEL.com, and click on and get your free audit, and someone from my team will reach out to you. After that, you want to kind of like focus on, like you said, like your investing strategy. Everyone should be investing. I don't care if you have a $20 an hour job, you should take a piece of your check and invest it, whether you're investing in the market. I'm not familiar with the market. I like to invest in even businesses or hard assets. You should always have multiple streams of income. So even if you're not an entrepreneur just yet, and you have a 9-to-5, but you still living paycheck to paycheck, go, your cell phone is your most profitable asset right now. Go, DoorDash, go Uber Eats on the side and take that money and invest in it and let that compound. So I just want to tell everybody that there's no excuses why you can't make money, have money to the side to it being invested in your future, because I don't think by the time we're 65, the money we save for 65 will be even enough to even have a decent living. So you should be making money every single day. If there's not money into your account every day and you just working to the point where you live in check to check, you're always going to have a bunch of bills you have to spend that money on. And you're never going to be to the point where you're financially secure.
Yeah. All right, that sounds good. I agree 110% with everything you just said. That's fantastic. So, all right, well, Antoine, we could probably keep talking for a long time, but I know you have a busy schedule and I have a busy schedule, but it's been great meeting up with you. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate everybody. And like I said, if you ever want to reach out to me, the easiest way to do it is through Instagram too, at CEO929, and follow me. I'm always transparent and I give good content.
Sounds good. All right. And once again, everyone, just check out the description below. I'll put some information down there about how you can reach out and talk to Antoine. So thanks again, Antoine. So for Antoine and Mazske Finance, we appreciate you watching, and stay tuned. We will have more great guests as time passes on. So once again, Mazske Finance will be signing out.
Thank you.